Before the camera interrupted the recording for whatever reason, if my hand touched something, I don't know. But I was mentioning about when hitting something, there is a reaction, which means that our hands are made of bones and meat, right? Muscles, whatever. So it's not like metal or concrete, meaning if you hit something, so the one with the less resistance is the one that will be giving in. And uh, therefore, anyway, I don't plan on fighting the iron, or I don't plan on fighting the concrete. So I think I'm smart enough to, even if I'm conditioning my body not to be hitting something that is unnecessary, and then ended up breaking my leg. Because believe it or not, I've seen in UFC fight people kicking in somebody's leg, and again, like I said, the less resistant one gave in. So the bone in the leg of the one of the person broke, and then the leg gives in. And that's something I don't wish for myself or for anyone else, because that's really painful and terrible. And then it handicaps you for the rest of your life. All right, so I was saying, like for instance, this bag, if you're hitting it with your bare hand, unless you have really direct contact, like punch that you do go actually straight. But anything that involves rubbing, if you do a hook and you miss or you didn't get it properly with your bare hand, then you're gonna either rip the skin. And what does that do? Yeah, it's painful, even though you can sustain the pain. But the fact that you're not gonna continue, otherwise you're just gonna be damaging your knuckle. So it will be best to use, a pair of gloves, and that will prevent you from getting injured that way. And as you can see too, in boxing, they wrap, the hands, the wrists, and everything. There's a reason for that. If you don't know what you're doing, or if you make a mistake and you hit hard, and the thing also resists, so you can twist your wrist and you can break it. So you have to learn really how to position your hand when you're punching. That's important. So in training, you can get injured in training, and but at least every martial art practitioner or every sportman, they try hard not to get hurt, but sometimes it's accidental and you can't prevent it. Things happen, and I am no exception. I get hurt at times, and again, especially in missing. I remember turning side kick, especially that is something that you really have to learn how to master and do it properly. Otherwise, if you miss the bag when you're actually doing a powerful kick, like a turning back kick or even a side kick, if you miss that, the hyperextension in the knee happen. And it happened to me before. So you always have to be mindful of all of that. So again, like I said, this bag, the same move you do in the air, it's not going to feel the same way when you're doing it with an object, with a target. The bag is heavy, which means if you do a hook kick, it's not going to be the exact same effect if you do it in somebody's head or face, because a person is standing on his two legs. And if you get hit in the head, so you lose your balance, you tend to fall. Just like a stick, if you place it on the floor, standing vertically, and you hit it, even if the circumference is wide enough for the pole to stand by itself. But if you hit it in the head, it's going to fall. But the bag is hooked from the top, so it doesn't stand on his leg. So if you hit it right here, the bag is not going to fall. So, and the kick, the bag resists, remember? So therefore, when you do the kick, it's going to go and it's going to bounce you back, which means it's going to have an effect on your body. It's going to make you turn. And knowing that, if you keep practicing, although you have that information and you know that's what is going, because your mind is getting used to the reaction, but when you're actually doing it to somebody's head, the person is not like the bag. So then that's when you will find success with it. But again, like I said, you will have to do it on the bag in order to have that reaction, that feeling, to know that's basically how it's behaving. And that's what any apparatus that you use, that's what it does. So it helps you develop the technique that you're trying to perfection. Yes, but again, when it's in training, you do all experimentation because it's the right place to do that because you're training. There is no shame if you're executing the move, you lose your balance or you fall or whatever, because you are helping the mind and the body to understand the move. And they have to work in conjunction with one another, because the mind sees something. It doesn't mean that the signal is going to send to the body is going to perform perfectly the move that you desire. There's a process. So the mind has to first understand the move, and then it has to signal it to the body, and the body has to do repetition, and they are communicating with each other, the body and the mind. And with time, that's how you ended up doing the desired move. So that's why things take time. And this is why to be good at anything requires a lot of discipline and sacrifices. First, you have to have the passion for whatever it is. Second, you have to have the desire really to have the discipline and willingness to do the sacrifice, which is the training. There are times maybe you don't feel like you want to get out of bed to do your practice, depending on the time you choose to do it, if it's early in the morning or if it's in the evening. Things work differently for different individuals. We are not the same, whether we are human beings. We have the same biological component. However, there are people who are innate with certain skills and ability that you, even if you try to work as hard as them, you may not be able to do things the same way, because the heavens have given every individual their own set of skills and talent. Some people are more lucky than others. All right. So, but everything requires discipline. That's the only way, to be good at whatever. And the competition, you're doing it with your